Video walk on a 2015 Majestic. Start in the back. Do have storage back here. And hidden underneath all of these stuff is just kind of compartments. This one, spare tire. And I believe, yep, that one over there is a table. So you can lift it up and use it as a table. Back here, you do have it's a 500-pound weight limit to store stuff back here. Set up for towing. If you want to tow a bike rack, it does have a 2,500-pound gross trailer weight with 200-pound tongue weight. More access to that storage right here with lights. Freshwater fill. That's where you fill your onboard fresh tank. When you use your fresh tank, you need to have your pump. Use your pump to pull from your fresh tank. The one right next to it is city water. You hook your hose up to here, you'll be able to run off the city water pressure. You won't need to use your pump. This one right here, just another little storage compartment. This is where you fill your gas, obviously. Short cord, just kind of pull it out. It's 30 amp. You can see it's hooked into that right there. And then it's about 25, 30 feet long. See where it's plugged in over there. When you want to use your generator, you plug it into that outlet right there. So you take the other end of your short cord and you plug it into that outlet. Not this end, the other end. Then you'll be able to use your generator. Water heater, super simple. The only thing you folks will have to do to get it started, put your drain plug in. 15/16 is the socket size if you're going to use a socket. It goes in there. Get it threaded as much as you can by hand. Tighten it, snug it up the rest of the way. Don't over tighten it. It is plastic. Once you get the plug in, as soon as you hook it up to water, it'll start filling. Once it's full, you can run it. Definitely recommend draining it after every trip. You don't want it sitting half full of water. It'll start to get stagnant, just like your fresh tank. So I always recommend draining your fresh tank after every trip so it doesn't sit full of water for a couple months or weeks, depending how long your spacing between trips are. So to drain your water heater, shut off all sources of water. Open up this pressure relief, leave it like that. Water will squirt out here. Everything out here is fine to get wet, so don't worry about that. Once it stops, snap that closed, then you can take that plug out. If you neglect to relieve the pressure, when you take the cap off, you're going to get a hot bath. If you've been running, it's going to be hot. If not, it's just going to be a lot of pressure coming out there, getting you wet. Once you do it once, you probably won't do it again. So don't forget to relieve your pressure first before you take your cap out. And I recommend making sure you clean in this burner area and in this exhaust a couple times a year just to make sure everything is clear and running okay. Right here should be access to, your low point drains. So these will be the lowest point of your water line. So if you're winterizing, you can drain them from there. There's also a fitting here, so you can blow out your lines. See, right there. So if you blow out your lines to winterize, you can do it to there. Just make sure you leave your low points open when you blow the lines out, or else you will blow your lines. Then previous owners left the sewer hose here. If you choose to get a new one, you can, but there's one in this little sewer hose storage. And then right below that, you have your black tank and then your gray tank. Always make sure those handles are all the way closed before you take that sewer cap off. And then I always recommend doing your black tank first, letting that get all the way dumped, then using your gray tank to flush it out. So then dump your gray tank, that'll flush out your black tank hose. That way when you pick it up to put your hose in here, it's not dripping in black tank water. And then we'll lock this closed. Furnace, just make sure you clean in here and here a couple times a year. They do make screens for them. They don't usually recommend you run your furnace with the screen on, but I've seen people do it. Just don't take it as me telling you can do it. I've seen people do it. You just want to keep it clean in here. The screens are good for keeping road debris and insects from building nests out of there. Right below that, batteries. So if you need to perform any maintenance to your batteries, you have access to that right there too. Over here, that's just a vent. This flap will open up. You can see it. So I can't really get to it. It'll open up when you run your fan vent on your range hood. So that's what that does. Every once in a while, I do recommend popping it open a little bit and cleaning back there. Access to your generator. So if you were going to do any maintenance to your generator, you can open this up, pop that panel off. You can also start and stop it from out here, but most of the time you're going to do that from inside. The cab, we will talk about the cab when we go into the inside. Coming along. More storage here. Access to propane here. It is full. It says 3/4. 3/4 is full. There has to be room for vapor to expand. And then here's your on and off. All the way to the left is on. All the way to the right is off. So we'll turn this off for now. Just so when you guys get it, its propane is off. There you go. That's off. Then here's the other side of that storage compartment. With a cargo light, turn it up, flip it up to turn these on. It'll automatically turn off in 20 minutes. That's just in case you forget to turn it off. Alright. A few more things. Your awning. Can't really demonstrate how to use your awning one-handed, and you can't open it all the way, but I will do my very, very, very best to explain it. So if you see that right there, so what you do is you get your awning hook, which should be inside somewhere, hook that onto there, pull it down. You can see where it says roll down, or roll out rather, roll out. You flip that down, take your hook, hook it to that fabric strap, and then pull, and then your awning will unroll. You roll it till it's all the way out. And then when it's all the way out, these, let's zoom back out, these will be laying almost like that. When they're like that, you're gonna be like, you're gonna grab this, lift, it'll be like right here, grab it, and then you'll be lifting, and then you'll be lifting the whole arm out, and it'll raise the tube. You do that on both ends. Then when this is out, this will be sliding here. So this will be a piece that it'll be kind of like this going. You can imagine this arm is going like that. That other piece is going to be going like that. And then you grab that piece, slide it. It'll click to the top of this arm. And then you can tighten this knob when you're done. And if we find if we get that hook, the awning hook, the rod, we can demonstrate it. There's got to be one in here. If not, we will get you guys one. Let's see. We will find one so you guys know. You guys have one to use. But as we're moving along, fridge, you just want to make sure it's clean up in here. Every once in a while, I do recommend taking this panel off and cleaning back there. That's pretty much it for the outside. We'll kind of go into the inside. We'll start in the cab, and then we'll work our way back. Sleeping space up here. You can grab this cushion and pull it to put over here so you can sleep, but it's easier getting in and out of the cab from inside the unit with that set how the way it is now. So we'll come on into here. Some stakes for the awning. You can undo the legs and stake them down. There should be information about your awning in there too. Chassis, this is pretty much like any Ford box van. So if you ever driven a Ford box van, or older style Ford trucks too, lights, there's no automatic daytime running lights. You have to turn them on and off. You have your dimmer switch for the lights. Cruise control, all the cruise controls are here. Radio is very simple to use. Change your volume. Presets to change your channel, have your presets push and hold to save a preset. Secret channels. You choose to have your CD, so you can pop a CD in there. AM, FM. Auxiliary, so there's an auxiliary port, and that is, where is that at? I believe that is an auxiliary port, but I could be wrong. But it says auxiliary right there. You go through menu, change tracks on CDs. Very basic, very easy to use. Very basic climate controls. Very simple to use, nice, clearly labeled. You have some 12-volt outlets here. Yeah, besides that, it's just like a normal Ford box fan. You do have over here an emergency start. So if your chassis battery, that's the one under your hood, will start to die and you can't get it started, you hold that emergency start. As you're holding that, then you could try to start it. What that does, that'll use your house batteries to try to start the chassis. Very simple. Let's turn the radio off. You just click that to turn it off. This couch right here turns into a bed. All you do is lift up underneath, pull up. Oh. Pull up. It helps if this chair was more forward. Got a little storage underneath there. There's what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. So we'll demonstrate that in a little bit. And then you can, boom, now it's a bed. And then quite the opposite. Lift up, push in, and down. Now it's a couch. This turns into a bed as well. Lift the table up, pop them leg out, set it aside. That table will just kind of swing down. It's attached to the wall. You rest it on this right here. Then you take your back cushions and lay them flat across, and you have a nice spot for someone to sleep. Right over here, breaker box. All your breakers for your 120 volt appliances, all your fuses for your 12 volt. I definitely recommend buying a thing of spare fuses just in case. Right over here, GFCI outlet with USB ports in it. All your GFCIs are on the same circuit, so if one's going to trip, they will all trip. And then I'll show you where you go and reset them. We kind of walked past this, but you do got some controls here. Little light switch right here, and then this will do I think it's an auxiliary light switch because I don't see what this is turning on. Do not think that switch is for anything, but we will find out as we continue to go. But this switch right here is for this little light here, which definitely helps. Because if you've been drinking a lot and you're coming out of this camper, you're not going to see those steps if it's dark. Microwave only works when you're plugged in or if your generator. Other than that, it works like any other microwave. Hood light, fan. So you have low and high. Like I said, if you're going to use this, that does vent out to the outside flap. So cooktop, very simple. Turn it to light, twist your sparker, she lights right up. All three burners work the same. Thermostat controls for your furnace, you just literally just slide it over, she'll turn right on. Slide it, and then click it, turns right off. And this is all your turning on and off and all your temperature adjustment. This will just tell you what temperature it is inside. Controls, you can turn your water pump on and off from here. If you're going to pull from your fresh tank, you can test your levels. So battery conditioner to propane. Then you can turn your water heater on and off from here. Generator, start and stop, so you hold down stop to see that red light and then hit up. Oop. Starts right up. You can see right here, turn off air conditioner before starting in it. So if you've been running your AC and then you know you're going to have to switch to your generator because you're going to get up and move, but you still want this AC running, you got to shut the AC off, let the AC turn all the way off, unplug the camper, plug it into that outlet. Then you start your generator. Once the generator has warmed up, so let it run for a few more minutes, then you'll be able to kick your AC back on. Speaking of your AC, AC is very simple to use. You have different modes. So you have low fan, high fan, low cool, high cool. Low cool and high cool actually run the cooling part of this. Compressor and the condenser will turn on. If you're just running on the fan, it'll just circulate air through here. And then you have temperature settings. Cold, that's the coldest AC you'll get. That's the warmest it'll get. That doesn't mean it's heat. That just means it'll be warmer AC than otherwise. Fridge is very simple to use. On or off. Auto or gas. Or gas. Click, there you go. Or gas. Definitely recommend just leaving it on auto. Auto is going to default to 110. So if it's plugged in, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to use. Excuse me. If someone were to trip over the shore cord or you're accidentally going to unplug, this will automatically switch to running off of gas. But if you always want it on electric, you can also run your generator and the fridge will run off at 120. Now if you can see right here, this fridge requires 6 hours pre-cooling before use. Depending on the weather outside and how hot it is, it could take anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. So just keep that in mind that if you want it to be cold right away, you'll probably have to plug it in the night before. And then we'll turn it back off here. Coming in through here, your shower, very simple, hot and cold, removable shower head. These doors, when you travel, keep them closed and then use this to, that way they're not swinging all over the place when you travel. Bathroom, this does have ability to lock open like that, so when you come out of the shower naked, no one's gonna see you. Coming in through here, light switch, basic sink, toilet, very easy to use as long as you're pushing this pedal on the side right here with your foot. It's gonna keep flushing. The nice thing about this toilet is it's made of porcelain, so it'll feel like you want it at home. Fan vent, lift this up, push out like that, and you can kick your fan on. Definitely recommend running the fan, especially if you've had Mexican or spicy food the night before. Right up underneath here, that's your resettable GFCI. All your GFCIs are connected to this outlet, so if any of them trip, this is the outlet you come in and hit the reset button on, even if it wasn't this outlet that tripped. Bedroom, got a light switch right here. Oh, you gotta turn it on here too. Whoa, that's bright. Plenty of storage on either side of the bed. Clicking light above the bed. And then I do believe you have, nope, no storage under the bed, unfortunately. Yep, no storage under the bed. That's another outlet on the side of the bed though. Yeah. Alright. Now, I did not see a drain for the fresh tank on the outside. The fresh tank is most likely under this bed, and the drain is probably on the fresh tank. Usually, this panel right here, you unscrew it, 4 screws, number 2 squares on each corner, lift it up. You should be able to see the tank. And there should be either a pull valve on it or a red valve that you rotate, and then that'll let you drain the fresh tank. Then over here, propane. Is it a propane and carbon? Yep, propane and carbon monoxide alarm. So that's hardwired to the 12-volt system, so there's no batteries you have to worry about changing with that. Actually, yep. And that's it for the bedroom. Make sure the lights get turned off. I like turning the lights off as I go. And we're going to walk back through here. Right above the entry door, smoke alarm uses your standard 9-volt batteries. So that one you do have a battery you can replace when they start giving those low voltage chirps. Just throw a new battery in it. All right. Well, that pretty much concludes our virtual tour. Give you a little bit quick demo with this awning over here. Try to do the best I can without. So you'd use this hook to hook it here. You see that? Pull down, and then you can grab this, pull it out. You can see how it's just keep going. You're gonna keep going until you see that bare tube, and then now you see what I mean. You can grab this, and then you'd lift up, and then it would raise the end. Then this part will slide all the way up this track to the end, and that's how that works. All right, and then when you're ready to undo it, you hold on to this. This will be all the way out. It'll be a lot easier. And then you just flip that switch the other way around. You want to make sure you hold on to this fabric because it's going to want to start rolling itself up. And it looks like it to be a brand new awning. Now, you can have this awning open when it's raining a little bit. Definitely recommend rolling it in if it starts getting really windy. You don't want it to break or anything like that. And if you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to roll it back out to let it dry out. Then another little tip with these, once you have the awning all the way set up, you can actually unhook this arm from the camper, swing it down, have it straight up and down, and then just stake this to the ground. That way it's not attached to this camper. You don't have this big thing hanging out every time you come around. You have to dodge it. All right, well that pretty much concludes the video walk on a 2015 Majestic. Hope you folks found this video informative. I really try to squeeze as much information as I can and do what I can one-handed and filming by myself. I hope you folks enjoy using this camper. I really like these Majestics, so I hope you do too. And until next time, goodbye.